Open mic, stand up. Open mic, stand up.
Hello and welcome to Likable, a show where we discuss stand-up comedy from an entry-level perspective. I'm your host, David Stickle, and today I'm joined by Anthony Zenhauser. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having me. Big show, big time.
Big
Let's go.
time, dude. This is we usually do entry-level comics, but you're not necessarily that now, are you, buddy?
It depends on who you ask. Depends if you look at my career, you might say, well, he might just have started comedy a few years ago. No, I've been doing it for a while, yeah. In the city a lot for about 15 years. And now I live up in the Hudson Valley and I've been doing it up there.
Well, was there a reason for the switch to the Hudson Valley?
I just, you get to a point where you have family and you get busy with other things and you get to work the road more. I like the road. The city's great. The city's a grind. And
Mm,
I feel like sometimes at some point it's either going to happen for you or it's not going to happen for you in the city.
okay.
A lot of people do comedy in the city. It's very, very competitive.
Mhm.
And I'll go from time to time to do podcasts and stuff, but I just got tired of the grind.
Yeah. How come you feel like you can do the road more upstate versus like in the city?
I mean, all over. I play all over the country now because just because you meet people. The city's a great place to start. Any major comedy city is a great place to start. New York City, LA, uh, now Austin. It's just it's a great place to meet everybody, and then you just make connections, and people get to know you. You get good footage, content, and then you just keep. It's like the NBA for comedians,
Oh
where
yeah.
it's profession. It's so amazingly hard to keep up with the talent that's in New York City and
Hmm.
LA. It's where the best of the best go. So you have to get good. If you don't
Okay.
get good, then just quit. Because if you can't get past the clubs there and stuff like that, then it's probably going to be a lot harder for you to work.
All right. Do you think one has to go to the city or like a comedy city to figure it
Not
out
today.
or
Not today. I started way before you, man. I started it back in like 2003,
okay.
and this is before Instagram, before social media, before you're able to really do everything yourself. At some point, the game changed. It
Hmm.
used to be a certain thing where you'd have to um, get past the clubs, and then people would come out and see you, or you would get to open for other comedians, and they would take you around the country. Now you can do everything by yourself. You can be your own self starter and just build your empire like the way you're doing it. Like I see you everywhere. You're just a fucking comedy whore. You're on. I see.
That's
There's just some comedians you just see. They're like everywhere. You're like, this guy's doing everything. Like, what is he
Mhm.
doing? But
Hmm.
you can if you're motivated and you're a good business guy, you can do it. You can do it now. But back then, you had to like rely on the industry a hell of a lot more.
Hmm.
If you
Yeah.
didn't get the late night spots, you didn't get the comedy segments on TV. It was hard to get into the industry. You had to get just for laughs
Hmm.
in order to like get a name for yourself because you had to be seen by talent scouts. You had to be seen by the industry. Now the industry doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Did you ever do JFL?
No,
No.
I never did, but I did work on a couple of just for laughs auditions where
Okay.
being a more experienced comedian, I just did considerably better than a lot of the younger comedians. But those things are also kind of predestined. Those just for laugh auditions, a lot of those kids have management already and they're
Yeah.
being seen. They want young faces. Like Fresh Faces was New Faces. I'm sorry, New Faces was the show where if you were a brand new comedian, that's where you made your debut. And then you
Okay.
would go on and then industry would watch you. Now industry just waits to clean up like ravens. They just like circle you like vultures until like they'll wait until you make a big splash, you get a lot of followers,
Yep.
and then they swoop in and go, "Oh, I want 10% of that."
Yeah. They seem pretty fucking lazy now, but also like I don't like because I've thought about this. I've not reached any kind of level or anything yet, but like I think if I were to like kind of get there, I probably would just keep pushing them away, because there seems to be a lot more power in just operating solo, um, minus their ability to like get you into places you don't have a connection to. But do you
I
think
mean,
that's smart or no?
I don't. I think that it goes both ways. I think that you should know your worth. I think
Hmm.
you should make them meet your worth. They'll definitely open more doors for you. They'll get you into venues. It's hard to get into comedy. It's hard to like put your stuff out there for comedy clubs. I did a special called Letisha in January, and I've been just trying to get it out there. And it's hard. Even when you're throwing that special out to clubs, they don't know you. They don't know where you're coming from. They're very hesitant on booking you. So even when you have a nice piece of professional footage, like a 45-minute set that's
Hmm.
very well shot and you're getting laughs and it's polished, unless there's so many comedians. I mean, again, a Kill Tony comedian that's 20 years old is headlining because
Yeah.
they're that's like a new kind of Johnny Carson. Joe Rogan
Hmm.
will make you. Kill Tony will make you. So those kids are big names now, some of them. The rest of us were just kind of like you have to just keep plugging until you find your niche.
Yeah. So oh, there's a couple things now, but Letitia, which you brought up, I watched again this morning because we had a little extra time, and it's probably like a third time or fourth time I've watched it, so I'm getting your
Oh,
views
wow.
up for sure. Yeah. Well, you know what it is. Originally, I'm like I was there when you were taping, so I'm like trying to find myself in the background for a couple of
Oh,
them.
you're
I
you're skimming for your name? Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I like I love it actually. It's really funny. So please, people watch that. But also like I was curious like what was the thought process in like shooting it in like black and white? Was there a reason for that?
Um, to be honest, I could tell you, look, I felt like it looked cooler in black and white. I wanted that smoky club feel to it. But in all fairness, I didn't like the backdrop that I used. The
Okay.
production company that I hired are great. They were
Hmm.
great. Shout out to the Full Half Productions. They're the ones who shot it, and they were very nice. But I wanted to use the original Laugh It Up background. I thought it looked better. I
Hmm.
got to the club and they were already setting up the thing in the back, the backdrop, and I was like, "Yeah, whatever." I said, "Okay."
Okay.
I said, "All right, we'll just do it if it's easier to edit with the solid background or whatever, if they thought it looked better." And then I watched it afterwards and I was like, "Oh," I was like, "This just looks tacky." Like everything was shot well. Like the camera work is great, the editing is great, the sound is great, everything is great. But I hate, for me personally, you know how you're a maniac
Yeah, of
when you're a
course.
comedian, you're just pedantic and you get in your head. I just didn't like it. So a buddy of mine said, "Why don't you just invert it to black and white? It'll take it's like for me, it's like an eyesore. You're trying to
Okay.
do comedy and it was it feels like it's a distraction. So the black and white makes it look a little more subtle.
Hmm.
And again, you learn as you go. You make mistakes. Even when you do your own stuff, when you produce your own stuff. I know you do a lot of your own production. You get shows going. You're a motivator. When you do that, you're going to make mistakes. And when you do, you might have to pay a little bit for it, but you're wiser for it. It's like when you bomb. Every time you bomb, that joke gets a little bit better because you go home and you go, "Oh, maybe I'll soften this a little bit. Maybe I'll make this a little bit more appealing. Maybe
Hmm.
I won't make it so I won't talk about Trump like that. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
do it like this."
Uh-huh.
So it's a learning process. So I'm very proud of that special. I think they did a great job. I think for the most part, I sounded pretty good as far
Yeah.
as how I did it. The crowd was a little tight. In the whole show, I know that everybody who went before me, they were awesome. They were great. Shout out to TJ Del Reno and Dan Guerin. Very funny
Mhm.
guys. Dan Guerin's a good friend of mine from the Albany area. You know him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We've all hung out. Um,
Yeah, you've had, Pat Downey on that too.
Pat Downey.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, man, I wanna give that little bastard a shout out. I feel so bad. He's such a good kid. I always say Pat Downey looks like the guy in every war movie that dies in the beginning.
Yeah, he
He always,
does.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got like a good family to come home to too.
Yeah. He's
So
like, when
when
I get out of here, I'm gonna marry my best girl. He's
yeah.
got real plans after the war, and then he just his guts are pouring out of his stomach,
Yeah,
20
yeah.
minutes into the movie.
Like fuck, this poor kid.
Oh man, but he's such a good kid, and he's a go-getter too. He does a comedy show, Collective Comedy in New Jersey. If you're in the Montclair, New Jersey area, go check that little bastard out. He does a great show at the what is it, the Montclair Playhouse, I think. But
Yeah,
it's great. Oh, the
sassy.
Studio Playhouse.
Yeah, sassy little fuck.
He's sassy. He's
Yeah,
you have to be in this business. You are
yeah.
too. You're a little bit of you're a go-getter, man. I see you all over the place. I see you working your ass off, and plus you're a proprietor. So it's got to be hard.
Yeah, it's sometimes it catches up to me for sure. Cause like, I think a lot of people in the comedy world might forget that I'm managing a small business at the same time. And then like I don't know, I think in the small business world, I forget that there's this whole other life that happens as soon as I like leave the door while I'm there. So it's nice that I can kind of just be where I am when I'm trying to be there. But sometimes they suffer because I'm just doing like there's been times where I've been like at a comedy club and I'm getting text messages, and they always have bad service at comedy clubs, and I'm getting text messages being like, "Hey, the toilet is not working at the bar. Like we need to figure this out." And I'm just like, "Ugh." Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm trying to make dick jokes here.
it's hard. You want to make eventually. You'll hope to make a transition to something you love to do. Right now, you have to pay the bills. So
Yeah.
it's always going to be like that for a long time until you make it. I mean, Dan Soder was waiting tables for years as he
Mhm.
was doing comedy. Everybody had, I think Norman was a janitor for a while while he was
Wow.
doing comedy. Like everybody has to work until they make it, and it's hard. It's a hard business to make it in. The money's not great.
Mhm.
Um, it's a lot of competition. You're everybody will do it for $5 less than you will. So
Yeah.
if you don't want to do it, you want more money, they'll just find somebody else to do it for the money they want or less.
Mhm.
So it's there's no unity in this as far as like a union. There's no it's a free for all. So yeah, it's hard, but you stick to your guns and you do your shows and you just produce and making content and content. It's all about content now. The old guys like me, we had to get used to Instagram and
Mhm.
TikTok and all that stuff. We weren't doing that. And some guys were still refuse to do it. But it's like you
Yeah.
have to. You need to make those pictures. You need to make those videos. You got to do it. You need those followers.
I haven't done the TikTok thing yet, but what was interesting is that Facebook just asked me like yesterday or the day before if I wanted to monetize my page, and I'm like, I don't know what this means, but I'll put more stuff on there and just maybe I'll get money back. But I think all the money that I would make from there, I would just turn into paying for Facebook ads anyways to try and promote
Mhm.
shows because it's like
Well, that
not,
works.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just like it's not money I'm anticipating getting anyways. So, you know.
It doesn't hurt. It's just it's another way to make a little bit of income. It's like getting a
Mhm.
sponsor. So you can monetize your tweets or your whatever you call them on Facebook entries, status updates. What do you call them?
Yeah. Posts.
Posts. Thank you. See, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Got to put it on the wall.
I just recently got back on Facebook after years of being on it. I just got so sick and tired of it because it got so political and so
Oh,
weird, and it
mhm.
just became a place where people are just attacking each other, and I was like, "I don't want I'd rather just go on Twitter where it's like the Wild West and you
Yeah.
expect it and you're anonymous if you wanna be." But Facebook is important now. It's still important. The Facebook Messenger. How many gigs have you gotten just because you're on Facebook Messenger and just
You
got a
know,
gig?
because of Facebook Messenger and like weird little communities, I'm in a clean comedy collective community, and then there's also like a New York comedy collective thing, and you just put, yeah, hey, I'm available this day. Anybody got a spot? And then sometimes they
Yeah.
throw you a bone in there. Um, but yeah, it is a funny thing to like, as far as politics go, like Facebook does suck. But like what I love about this time of year is that the country like I went on Twitter yesterday and the trending was all like different colleges' names. And I'm like, oh, awesome. Football is more important than politics in this country.
Right.
Like, I love it.
Well, I
Finally.
mean, you need something to take the edge off, because
Mhm.
if it was just politics all the time, there would be civil unrest. That Charlie Kirk thing, people went ballistic, and they're still going nuts.
Oh,
For me, it
yeah.
was the Cracker Barrel thing, fuck Charlie Kirk. I was more insulted by the Cracker Barrel debacle. But yeah, it's like it's just something is always gonna happen, but people like sex, they like sports, they like food, they like cats. Those are like the four horsemen of the Instagram apocalypse. Yeah.
Yeah, it just started out with like innocent dog videos, and then people were showing their OnlyFans on there, and then it turned into, politics after sports,
Now it's well, Twitter is the only real, I feel, the real honest news outlet that we have left, because everybody's involved. Everybody's invited to the party. You can
Mhm.
say whatever the fuck you want. You can use any words you want. Thank you, Elon Musk, for making Twitter safe again. Because again, you can do whatever you're not censored anymore. So it's great. You just you watch the broadcast news on TV and you're like, I don't buy that shit at all. I don't
Yeah.
agree this is happening at all, because you can't trust them anymore. So you just go out and you look for that, for the guy with a handle name like Booby Farts 69 is telling you more real stuff than the guy that they pay on TV to say it.
He did his research.
Mhm,
I like the Kimmel thing, because that just happened, and then the Colbert thing. Like,
mhm.
if I were them, that would be like a blessing in disguise, because you kind of get made out to be a martyr in this situation, right? But then you just go online and then you have full power, like for your own fucking name, because you already got your name established. So,
Mhm.
if he announces like a podcast or anything like that, I feel like that shit'll take off in no time at all.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
and he
And
gets
you don't have to
all
play
the
by the
money.
rules anymore. You don't have to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You don't have to worry about the 3-minute format before commercial break or like any of that shit. Like, it's like, I don't know, you could do whatever you want. It's
Yeah. I
yeah.
agree. I mean, the first thing I thought of when Kimmel got fired was
Yeah.
podcast. Why wouldn't he do a podcast? He's got a huge, if people support him that much
Mhm.
and are that outraged and think that he was canceled, which he
Mhm.
really, I mean, again, canceled is a funny term for somebody who has to rely on sponsorship. Like, every business on TV is relies on their sponsors. So if you divide half a country that uses the sponsors stuff, they're going to be pissed.
Yeah.
I think it's less politics and it's more, you took money out of my pocket.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to go.
Yeah, you represent their brand, and you do have a boss. Like if one of my employees was kind of like actually just talking politics at the bar. We have a strict no politics and no religion policy at
Good.
the bar. It's just like they don't need to know that shit about you. You
Right.
know,
What about Coke? Is there a no Coke policy, or
honestly, I'd rather have them do coke with the customers than to fucking talk about Charlie
good?
Kirk.
Because we're doing a show soon and I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
I'm sure they'll be cool with
eh,
that.
yeah, because but again, look at Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel got a backlash because half the country is like, fuck you.
Hmm.
They forget that half the country feels a different way than the other half.
Yeah,
It's just
it
so
is.
polarized on media that there's one side that is correct and one side that's not. But the proof is in the money. When the money, like Bud Light, Cracker Barrel, when the money goes away,
Yeah.
that's what counts to
Uh-huh.
these people. It's not feelings or politics or the feel goods. It's, oh shit, we're losing millions of dollars right now. We better fucking
Mhm.
back out of this. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I think of like
Hey. This is so dumb. We're plugging dates again. I don't know what we're doing. I literally hear crickets outside, which is usually how my comedy goes. No, that's nice. This is interruptible. I am telling you about show dates. Follow up from last week, the Capital Region's Funniest competition. I didn't win. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, devastated by this, but I will be hosting there on 9/24. I didn't include it in this graphic that you might be or might not be seeing if you're watching on YouTube, but I will be hosting the competition there. And I feel like that's a nice consolation prize for the loser because I get paid and I like that. That's nice. Upcoming, this is just the rest of September and only October. 9/26, we're doing a Don't Tell. I'm producing that with my good friends. That is in Middletown, New York. Please buy tickets to that. Oh my goodness, please buy tickets to that. I can't believe there's still some left, honestly. It's kind of amazing. But we would love for it to be a sold out show. Would love for a waiting list. And I'm surprised. I'm literally surprised there's still some tickets left. Actually might not be by the time this episode comes out. So go look. Info's online. 9/27, there's a Croak show that's free. We got Anthony Zenhauser. I'm pretty sure this is going on his episode. So you're watching him right now. Pretty sweet. 10/4, I'm going to be in New York City at St. Mark's Comedy Club doing the Comfy Clash competition with Peter something. Put that together, and he's a nice guy. He'll probably be on a Croak show soon. And 10/9, Keegan Ailes doing that with some great friends. That's a good time in Kingston. And 10/11, another Sloop Brewing show. That one that was a great show this past weekend. Holy cow. You guys need to come out to the next one. Dr. Anna Lepley's on it, but also Jason frickin' McLaren is going to be on that one. Heck yeah. 10/10 Catskill Comedy Festival, or sorry, that's 10/18. Jeez Louise. 10/18 Catskill Comedy Festival. That's a big day for me because then I'm getting in the car and I'm going south to do a Don't Tell in Wappingers Falls. I can't tell you where, but it's a sweet venue. Buy tickets to that as well. 10/24, I'm going to be on that Don't Tell, by the way. That's going to be sick. Great lineup, unbelievable lineup. 10/24, another Croak show. Putting together the lineup for this so far, and it's getting interesting. Just saying. And then 10/25 on a show in Pine Island with Jacob and John Leary, hosts of the Great to Be Here podcast. Shout out to them. And they're they're just a couple cutie pies that booked all the good comics in the area, but no females. Interesting choice on there. They promised there will be girls on the next one. Sorry. Clear oversight by those two goofballs. All right, we're going to get back to the show before I incriminate anybody I care about. Enjoy.
The best example of this is like Shane Gillis. Like
Mm.
he had those ideas for sketches, got onto SNL. They cut him because of he did a Chinese impression or something like that.
Well, he said that a lot of C words live in Chinatown. He used he used the Chinese slur for Chinese.
Okay. Okay.
And he was saying it obviously tongue in cheek. He was trying to be provocative and telling a joke.
Mhm.
And but where he was at that point in his life, he was getting SNL. He was getting a mainstream show. Didn't look
Mhm.
good. So
Yeah.
they had to make a decision. Lorne Michaels didn't want to fire him, but he was getting a lot of the backlash on social media was get rid of this guy. He's a racist. He's a racist. All these
Yeah.
Chinese and Asian actors came out of the woodwork and were boycotting him. So, but then you're right. It shows what happens when you try to cancel somebody that's good and talented and funny.
Mhm.
It made his career. I mean, he wouldn't be as big as he was
Oh,
if he was if he just was on SNL. He might have did like a season and wasn't that great and could have
yeah.
went into obscurity.
Yeah,
But
he'd be lucky if he was as popular a name as Colin Jost at this point, you know?
right.
Like, because like I can't name the last two casts on SNL at all. I just know like I haven't really watched SNL in a while, but I
No.
just know that like the Hispanic guy everybody really likes. And that's they don't
Mhm.
even know his name. They're just like, we like the Hispanic guy. He's funny. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm sure he is. Like
It's yeah, nobody really watches broadcast television anymore, really. I mean, it
yeah.
used to be a staple where you would be home on Saturday night and watch Saturday Night Live.
Mhm.
Maybe people still do, boomers do probably, and young kids. And then everybody in between is either partying or doing their own thing or on social media. So, but like who would you think are some of the say name 3 biggest stand-up comedians now.
The biggest, well, Shane
Yeah,
kind
of
of
course,
walks on
Shane.
water now. I think Louis C.K. is like, coming back, but I don't know if he still has like. I think everybody still thinks he's hilarious, but I don't know if he has like that name right now until the
Mhm.
special comes out, and then it's just gonna. I feel like that'll just take over. Um, but Nate Bargatze is massive.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then Sebastian, I feel like is kind of on the downside right now, but when his new hour comes out, that'll be huge too. But um, Nikki Glazer
Probably
was on
Chappelle.
top for a minute now.
I think Chappelle is still one of the bigger names. I think Gillis is probably the biggest comedian name next to Bargatze. Bargatze, again, a lot of people. I started with Bargatze. Like he was
Mhm.
in the city, and he was always funny, and he was always driven and great and clean. Like you're clean, right?
I'm half and half. I do clean and dirty.
He being funny and clean is what a lot of comedians like me envy, because I find my humor funny to me because I like to be dirty, and I like to be not even provocative. It's not even, it's just gross and funny and stupid
Yeah.
and sophomoric. I like that stuff. But you're always going to work more as a clean comedian and be bigger. You're going to have a bigger audience. It just makes more sense business wise to be cleaner.
It feels I'm not naturally clean though, so it does feel a little restricting sometimes.
Mhm.
Like last week I had a Staten Island spot and a Jersey spot, and Staten Island was Friday, Jersey was Saturday. Staten Island, they were like, just don't talk about this is on 9/12, right? So they're like, don't talk about Charlie Kirk, don't talk about 9/11, and don't attack Trump too much. Like it's Staten
Mhm.
Island,
Sure.
they love firemen here, and then but I could say whatever I wanted, which was awesome, and it was very freeing. And then like on Saturday, it was 10 clean, 10 minutes clean, and everybody in the room was probably 55 plus
Mhm.
as far as crowd goes. And it's in like the back of a diner, and and the lineup was like 55 plus, but
Yeah.
yeah, but it was I felt restricted, like as far as like I'm thinking more about not cursing naturally, if that makes sense. Um,
Sure.
yeah,
It's like being on the radio. You got to make sure
yeah.
you don't curse so you're more mindful of it, or you're just kind of a little bit more nervous about doing it.
Hmm.
Yeah. There's just a bigger draw for people who are clean. People will work with you. I've gotten emails saying I love your stuff, but it's too dirty. Like I can't do it with the people that I have. You know who love me? Pennsylvania, central PA loves me. Small towns. If the only thing you had to do that night was bowling, you will come see the show, and it's all blue collar, just people who just love dirty, gross stuff. Women who spit, like that kind of, like you can smoke at the bar. They don't give a shit about the rules.
Yeah,
VFWs and stuff like
yeah.
that. But
Big
I did a
VFW guy.
VFW. I'm a Knights of Columbus comic. If there's a buffet next to
Mhm,
me while I'm doing the show, I'm gonna
mhm.
murder that show. If there's like a those tinfoil chafing dishes filled with baked
Mhm.
ziti,
Ha-
I feel yeah.
I was gonna. Have you ever done a strip club before?
No, I've never done a strip club ever. Have you?
No, no, but I've met like two comics who have, and I'm like, man, like that sounds like an interesting challenge.
In the 50s and 60s, comedians started out doing those kind of venues. They a lot of like Lenny Bruce was he worked in a cabaret because that
Mhm.
was the only real place to do it. There were no comedy clubs yet. It was coffee houses, and it was those cabaret strip clubs. And they would
Huh.
MC, and in between MCing, bringing up the girls with the pasties, like they're flipping the pasties around. They would do jokes, and they would warm up the crowd. They would MC. So that's how a lot of these comedians got started. And eventually the clubs opened up, and then these guys were like staples. They were just the guys who that to see. I did a show with your buddy and mine, Danny Mendez was there. think
Mhm.
he had the show. It's in Woodstock, and it was a really nice place, and they were very nice people, but they were not my crowd. It was a
No.
bunch of over 50 hippie, white, guilty people.
Uh-huh.
And I would do the show, and I started out very strong, because I'm just doing my act, and then I'm working out some new material, and some of it has some politics in it. And you mentioned the word Trump to some of these people, and they just tune out. They're just like, "Nope, I'm done." Like
Mhm.
some lady couldn't even look at me after I mentioned
Oh.
Trump. And I'm not praising Trump, but I got to the point where I was so angry at them for shutting up about stupid stuff like that that I just laid into it.
Mhm.
I just laid into it harder, and I sabotaged my set. It didn't end well, but we started good.
Yeah.
But then I did the same set in Saratoga Springs the night after, and they were dying. I killed it. Well,
Mhm.
it was more positive. I hate when comedians say I killed it. You didn't fucking
Yeah.
kill it. You
Yeah.
just compared to that shit storm you did yesterday. Yeah, you killed it. But they were more cool about it. They're more receptive. It's just it's all about the crowd too. It's all about what their politics are. Stay away from politics. You're right. It should be your bar policy. Unless
Yeah.
you're really good at it. Unless you're really, really good at it. Dabbling in politics is hard.
I tried it once and I failed miserably. But this, to be fair, it was like 2 weeks ago, so it was
I
not
mean,
good.
you can always listen, if you can make anything funny. You really
Mhm.
can. I do a joke about date rape and I make it funny. I do it, and you can do it. You just have to kind of take the edge off of it and make it funny. It's not funny just to say I drugged the girl's drink. That's not funny.
Mhm.
But if you say you used Adderall, it's funny because now it's like she's safe and it gets goofy. It gets weird.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's ways to do it. There's ways to make anything funny, and they just let me know that wasn't funny. What I was doing that joke, I didn't make it funny yet. So it's the live and learn. Like you're bombing now, right? Because everybody bombs still. Everybody bombs.
Mhm.
You just get better at handling it. You just get better at dealing with it. You don't let it bother you. You don't go away going, "Oh man, I suck." You go away going, I think I learned this tonight. I think I learned to change this tonight." You just use it
Mhm.
as a learning experience. That's all. 'Cause you'll make it
Yeah.
funny.
I think what helped me a lot with dealing with bombing was obviously doing it a lot, but also um, the check spot at Laugh It Up. That's the only spot
Mhm.
I still get check spots at. A lot of places don't do it still, but like,
Cal's great. Shout out to
uh,
Cal.
yeah, shout out Cal. um, but yeah, the check spot I think is like helped me a lot along with the podcast as far as like riffing goes, but like
Mhm.
that check spot of standing up there when like nobody wants to hear you talk anymore and they're just like trying to figure out if they actually got the extra beer that's on their bill, or oh, the gratuities included, we don't have to do the tip, like they're just like talking at their table and you're just trying to fucking talk over them, but
Mhm.
you stay up there because you're supposed to do your time, and there's like, if 150 people are there, like maybe five are listening, and you're there to entertain them, but they're just spaced out, Um, but that'll.
Every job in comedy is there for a purpose. That's the only real order about comedy is that you start out as a host because you have to learn how to talk to the audience. You have to learn to do crowd work. You have to learn to grab their attention. They're cold. They're ice
Mhm,
cold when you get up there. If they're warm and laughing by the time you're done, you just made the show so much better for everybody else. You are handing the other comedians a good thing. It's like a energy. You're transferring the energy from you to somebody else. So you get good at that. And once you're good at that, you get comfortable with it. And then you gain more material and then you start to open. You start to feature. So you're just doing a longer set. But now if something goes wrong, you know how to talk to the audience. You know how to deal with it. You know not to take it be offended by them not listening or them not laughing at your jokes. You don't get scared. When you start bombing, you start getting nervous.
mhm,
You start to try to like, oh, I have to make them like me. I have to make them like me. At some point, you're like, I'll get them at some point.
mhm,
You gotta go for it because you got to try new material. Last night I was doing new material. I had a great set with Jim Florentine at the Comedy Works. We all had a great show. But there were times when I lost them at the end of the show because I was trying new stuff, and some of it just doesn't hit. It's not ready. But you get them to the point where they're confident in you being funny, so they'll let it go, and then you can always
Yeah.
bring them back with something that works. So you just learn how to do that, and you have to learn. That's the art, is learning how to make your set, put the new stuff in and shuffle the old stuff out and back and forth, and remembering the new stuff. And oh fuck, I wanted to do that joke tonight. I didn't do that joke. So you're always like learning, and you're always bombing. So it's great.
Yeah. They what's it called there? You just made me think of this. So while you were filming Letisha, there was a spot there where you just started doing crowd work
Mhm.
in the middle of it, and I don't think you kept that in.
I did, yeah.
But oh, you did. Okay, okay, okay. Because I was trying to remember if it was that crowd work or a different. But I was I was with my friend Brittany, and like at this time, like I could not do crowd work at all. So like I'm watching you do the crowd work, and then I'm thinking about it also being a taping and how it cuts in, and just a different angle means like maybe they skip some time,
Mhm.
or whatever. But I was like telling my friend Brittany, it'd be like if I were in that scenario and I like decided to do crowd work and it didn't go well, you would have this one shot of me, and then it would just cut to a different angle, and I'd be drenched in sweat. Because I just start sweating when I'm forgetting stuff, or yeah.
You know what's crazy? It's funny because that was the turning point of the show. They were very tight up front.
Mhm,
They were very tight, and they knew it was a taping, and my family was in the front, friends and all that. I mean, and they were still tight. They were still
mhm.
tight. And it's the same stuff that I do that, does usually pretty well. It's my staple stuff. And they were just really tight. And maybe they were nervous the cameras were there. I don't know. But as soon as I did that crowd work, everybody, like, their buttholes just loosened up. Everybody loosened up. They started
Yeah.
laughing more. And then I had it. Like the first 10, 6, 7, 8 minutes are a little tight. But after that lady spilled that drink and I was talking to her, and then everybody was like, "Oh, we can like chill. It's fine. Everybody, we're just gonna have fun now." And then it was great. And then everything else worked out pretty good. But sometimes crowd work is what you need. If the host doesn't loosen them up, you have to at some point. You got to
Mhm.
like work the crowd, and they like it. Sometimes they like crowd work more than they like comedy, than
Yeah,
they like
that
the
happens.
actual
Yeah.
set. A lot of comedian, but then as a comedian, a lot of these guys rely on just doing crowd work. There's some funny guys who do such great crowd work, but it's all crowd work now. It's just
Mhm.
all, and whatever. I don't think there's rules to it. Do whatever makes people laugh. Your job is to make them laugh. It's not to, you got to stay true to the art form, because
Yeah.
there is an art form. Improving and being funny on the spot is not easy either. So if you can make that happen, and it's also a lot of that stuff, you can use it. You can turn it into an act. You can turn it into a bit, and then that's like a staple crowd work bit that you have now.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. I went to a couple special tapings before I saw yours, and I went to Chris DiStefano, and he did a taping in Terrytown, and I went to Tony Woods. He did a taping
oh
at
wow.
the Black Pussycat Lounge, and Chappelle put that on, which was cool. But like at both of those, the hosts for Tony Woods was Cypher Sounds. I don't know if you
Oh,
know
yeah,
him.
Cypher Sounds, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah. So he did crowd work for that like the whole time, and and then Matterhorn really like uh he addressed like, and actually DeStefano did a good job of like addressing what people were feeling in the room, but like because there was like no air conditioning, and it was in the middle of July, and it was a 9 o'clock show, so like just the heat from the show prior, and then everybody's else's body heat adding into it. But Matterhorn was like calling out people by like what they were wearing, and like, so I mean the crowd felt engaged
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot. Yeah.
for sure. It's funny because I mean, you don't wanna get racial, but black comedy is a little bit different vibe than mainstream white comedy.
Totally
There's a
agree.
lot of crowd work. There's a lot of
Mhm.
interaction. "Yo, motherfucker, you look at you." It's
Yeah.
like there is that kind of everybody's involved, everybody's kind of, you gotta keep I feel like the black audiences or the urban, the city audiences, like if you go to Uptown or something, they're harder. They're harder. You gotta like be good because they're funny. Like a lot of the inner city attitude is very funny and it's very sarcastic. It's very quick. So you have
Mhm.
to be better than them. I feel it's like the same way if you go to like Dublin or Ireland or Scotland. They're very good with banter. They're very good with being quick on their feet. So you have to keep up with them or at least do better than them. Or they're
Yeah.
not gonna they don't care. Like they're like, motherfucker, I'm funnier than you.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
all want to be funnier than you. They all think they're funnier than you. So you got to prove them wrong. You got to prove them that you're funnier. So
Mhm.
I think there's like a competition with some crowds. I think there's some crowds you go and they're very polite. They're just like they'll listen to you. They'll listen to your act. And a lot of comedians who start out, they're not dealing with what's going on in the audience. They're not dealing with people going, "Hey, motherfucker." They're not dealing with people drunk going, "Yeah, uh-huh, yeah."
Mhm.
They don't. They just go through their set. They ignore it. But but eventually you learn to like engage. Sir, what's the matter? What's your problem?
Yeah.
Are you okay,
Yeah.
sir? And
Yeah.
then you can diffuse that. You're the air marshal. You're the one going up there. You're popping a cap in that dude's head,
Mhm.
and you made the entire plane safe. Now, everybody, go about your business. We're back on track because there are people who want to sabotage your show. There's people who
Mhm.
want to be the star. They're water cooler comedians. I'm funny at work. I'm the funny guy. I
Mhm.
mean, people come up to you after a show and go, like, especially old guys, they come up to you and they're drunk and they grab your arm and they go, "So this guy goes into a bar, right?" And he starts telling you like a street joke, and you're like, you got to stand there and go, "Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
yeah. Here's one. You can use that if you want. You can use that
Yeah.
joke." Like, okay,
Yeah. I love
they
that.
do. Yeah.
I was at a show last night and it was an outdoor show and Elizabeth Bex was on stage.
Oh,
Um
what a piece of
yeah.
ass she is, huh? Oh my god. No, she's so funny.
Yeah.
She's so good.
Yeah. So like there was a guy in the crowd that was, and mind you, like the stage was like 30 feet away from the crowd, and then the guy was like halfway through the crowd. So he's probably like a good like 60 feet away from the stage.
Yeah.
And it's like dark out, it's outside, she can't see anything, and they can't even see her, to be honest. Um, but like, he's like yelling something back, and she's like, I'll fucking fight you, dude. Like
Yeah.
get out here. Like come on. And she like threaten this guy like while on stage and the crowd like she were like cheering her on and like I think the dude realized he was being a fucking idiot but
Yeah.
man it's they respect that I really I
Elizabeth is a she's a firecracker, man. She's fearless and she's
yeah
doing great. You see people root for her because they look at her and they go, "You're gonna be big one day." Well, she
yeah
already is. She's 6'4",
yeah she's
but
six she's big now yeah
she's
yeah
big now. But she's gonna be big in the industry. I mark my words, man. I'm not good at becoming successful, but I've called out successful people, and I've been like, "Oh, that person's gonna be big." You can just
yeah
tell she's gonna be a big name. So good
yeah
for her.
yeah
You,
she
I think I would just stick to the bar thing, but
thanks
that's what we need. Another white guy with a backwards hat. That's what we need in this business.
Dude, at least I'm not autistic. Like,
You know what it is? Like she's funny. She's quick. She's very young. She's only like 21, right?
yeah, she's pretty
And
young.
but she's tall and
Hmm.
she stands out and she's a woman and she's a funny girl, a funny
Hmm.
woman, which is they're fun. They're funny female comedians. I love Adrienne Appalucci. I love her. I think that some women just again, she has an affliction like Adrienne Appalucci and girls like her and Kirsten, what's her name? Jessica Kirsten.
Hmm.
They had to rely on their comedy to be to get along with people. They had to fit in. They had to be funny because there's something weird about them. Like Elizabeth is a very beautiful girl, but she's very tall, and it's a anomaly. It's weird to see
Yeah.
such a tall girl. So she probably felt self-conscious her whole life, and she
Hmm.
learned to gain a sense of humor. And that's where most of us, that's where we get our sense of humor from being bullied or
Yeah.
being an outcast or just not having a good family life or whatever your thing is. Or maybe just naturally fucking weird and goofy. It could be that too. But a lot of it comes from having a hard time.
hmm it really is a blessing in a lot of ways because you if you learn how to actually be funny because of that, like um there's stuff that I've done in comedy where I've like I want to talk about this because it made me sad at one point, so now I want
Hmm.
to try and own it a little bit, and like that's the nice part about comedy is that you can kind of do that, you
You
know.
do. That's the real good stuff. Like Louis C.K. He started out doing just silly jokes. He would just do stupid jokes like for the first 10 years of his life. And then he started doing that like real like in the soul, like, he started getting
Hmm.
real with himself and he started talking about his life and he started talking about my kids suck. I fucking hate my kids. Whatever it was, he was one of those guys who got into it and he became prolific.
Hmm.
Dan Soder, same thing. Dan Soder talks about his dad, he talks about his mom and the alcoholism and his life, and people relate to it because everybody goes through something like that. You become more relatable and you get more popular, and you can make it funny. That makes you a better comedian.
Yeah, and when they're your stories, I mean, you're not stealing them from anybody, they're your stories, you know.
Yeah, it's specifically you. It's a genuine you story, and nobody else can. I mean, if anybody else does it, they go, Were you Dan Soder?" Like that was his life. It's like telling
Yeah.
somebody a story that happened specifically to you, and somebody else
Uh-huh.
tells it, and you go, "No, that wasn't you. That was me. What are you doing?"
Yeah. Yeah.
The
I
comedy, but comedy is you have to learn how to you just have to learn to be comfortable on stage first. And you tell silly jokes because you're not comfortable with yourself. You're not comfortable with opening up yet. But as you get into it, you do. You learn to kind of pull from that because you have to. You run out of stuff. So you go,
mhm.
okay, maybe I should talk about me now.
So I don't want to take up too much of your time, but before we go, I was curious because like I feel like with your amount of experience, like a lot of like younger comics are going to learn a lot from this. But like I was curious like how you would go from uh kind of like doing your local clubs to actually getting on the road and stuff like that. Like what's like a good maybe takeaway as far as like
How to
just kind
do
of
it?
like getting out there, cuz like even now like I'm getting to like Staten Island, I'm like doing festivals and stuff like that, but I mean
That's a
like
good way to do it.
yeah, I'm trying to get out of this host and opener role and get into the feature role too.
Mhm.
Um, but like, I feel like once I got like a feature act down, I could start trying to get out on the road a little bit more. Like, I don't want to volunteer to host at every club ever, and then I'm just a host everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to work with that a little bit, but
I mean, best way to do it is just not be lazy. It's just there. People forget that this is a real job. A lot of this
mhm,
is booking. A lot of this is working on your act. A lot of it is not stage time. A lot of it is, you might have to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. As a professional comedian, a lot of these guys get up at like 7 in the morning. They got a routine. They write. Like
mhm,
Sam Morrill is going to be huge too. Sam Morrill is already a huge comic, but
yeah,
the amount of work he does, the amount of his stand up is unbelievable. Unbelievable. He's so good. He's a quintessential technically good stand-up comedian, and
mhm,
his stuff is it's like watching a surgeon work. The cadence, the material, the jokes. Sorry, I just popped my mouth. But I think a great way of doing it. There's being around clubs to where if a headliner sees you and likes you and they want you to feature for them, that's a great way. That's an unbelievable way is to because you'll be thrown into all the clubs, all the clubs around the country will see you. They'll see that you're funny and they'll start booking you down the road, or at least they'll remember when you're in town, you're with this person.
mhm,
So it's a good way to get introduced to the industry. I think that just working in the city is important. You got to make those connections. You have to learn to make connections, and that's how you get shows. People like you, they'll put you up, and if you're funny, that's a bonus. They don't expect again when you go to see a comedy show, everybody remembers the headliner. That's it.
yeah,
They don't remember the feature. They don't remember the host. Doesn't You can fuck up all you want as a feature. You can fuck up all you want as a host because nobody
mhm,
cares. The last thing they're going to remember is how the headliner was. So when you're a headliner, it's great. You're making the good money. but it's all on you. The pressure's on you to book it. The pressure's on you to draw. And the pressure's on you to be memorable and be funny. The host could be whatever. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody remembers the feature. So that's host as much as you can. That's the host is where your backbone is. That's the strength of being a good comedian, is being able to carry a show, the whole show. You're working the hardest as a host. You're
Yeah.
getting them cold. You're doing jokes in the middle. You got to close it. Everybody else gets kind of the headliner should have an easy time. The hard part is getting the show going and getting the crowd. So the festivals are okay. The festivals are good. I mean, you'll any exposure is good exposure, even if you got to pay $50 to do this the festival. Who cares? If you want exposure, instant social media. That's the way now. Get your numbers up. Do videos every day. Do content. Get a following. Clubs don't care if you're funny. They want money. They want butts in their seats. If I could work the Comedy Cellar tomorrow, if I can guarantee them a full house every night. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter if I'm fucking the best comedian in the country. I don't have to be. Money talks. So it's a business first and foremost. So yeah, so do things like that. Like just make yourself, if you're good, if what you have as an advantage, David, is that you are a businessman. That's why you're doing well. You know how to self promote. You're good at marketing. You're funny. I like you. I think you're a funny guy. But that's you'll get funnier. But you're getting the spots to get funnier. So that's the important thing now. Guy, what's his name? Sean. Who's the guy upstate? Sean
Barnes.
Sean Barnes. Love him. Such a
Yeah.
funny guy. Such a funny guy, and he works his fucking ass off.
He really does.
So fucking hardworking. Elizabeth Bex, hardworking. Johnny Pants, hardworking. Micah Gumbiati, hardworking dude. Funny guys. Like, I look at you guys and I'm proud of you guys for doing so much with so little up here. Because the Hudson Valley is fucking hard. It's a hard place, but it's growing. It's finally growing a community, which is nice. Albany, the capital city, is awesome. They're growing such a great community of comedy. It's not just the city anymore. That's the great thing.
Yeah.
You guys are taking your own cities and you're making it happen. I know I'm rambling, but there's a lot of it. There's a lot to tear apart here.
Yeah, it's really great shit. Yeah,
So-
I'm proud of the Albany community because they seem to be very, very tight, and I'm seeing a lot of them kind of branch out a lot more too, and get out of just their community, which is cool.
It's great.
And like just being in the Hudson Valley, like where I am, like I have to go an hour just to do an open mic either way. So it's like, you know, between the city and between Albany, like it makes no difference to me. You know, I just should just pick where I want to go that day and then do it. So you know,
it's growing. It'll happen where, you know, again, the Hudson Valley is still young, and I remember when it was like really dead up here. And now there is a community of people who, like Alex Kohler, he's fun, he's great. Danny Mendez, you know, these guys they're funny guys. Gilbert Hernandez. Is his name Gilbert Hernandez? Yeah. I don't remember his last name. I remember he's Gilbert because he's a Latino guy with a goofy white name. Gilbert Hernandez.
Yeah.
I love Gilbert. These guys are great. And you know, you guys are working hard, and that's the thing. If you work hard, you can't fail. You'll get something out of it.
Yeah.
You know, and you'll be working. It's just, you know, you get to a point where it's going to get harder because the competition gets more. You're not relying on 15 comedians on the show anymore. You want to make real money. You want to make $1,000 that night, or you want to make $2,000 that night. You know, and then eventually, if you ever become a big name, you're making like 20, 30 grand a weekend.
Yeah.
Which is fucking insane. We're making 30 grand on a weekend.
Insane. Yeah.
But it is, man. You might have to do 4 or 5 shows that weekend, but it's
5 hours of work. You know,
it's amazing. Somebody once tried to tell me that it's just like, they're like, yeah, comedy, what a scam. It's a great scam. I'm like, it's not a scam. I'm like, it's the same thing as being a plumber. The guy worked on your pipes for 10 minutes and you have to pay him $1,000, but it took him 20 years to get good at that. It took him 20 years to be good to fix your pipe. So people look at this and they think it's so fucking easy. That's what I love. I'm like, I want to get into comedy, and you're like, I never say, great, another more competition. I say, great, fucking have a good time. I'll see you in 20 years.
Yeah.
I'll
Good
see you in 20
fucking
years
luck.
and see how you're doing. Let's see if you're still, who wants to put up with that kind of rejection and failure and not getting your emails responded to and not getting, people responding to your texts or but then you get that one that does, and now you're working with that guy forever. You know what I mean? Like, that's great. You know how to make friends. You know how to put yourself in the social pipeline. That's half the battle. And then all of a sudden you're working and you have a community. So it's great.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's all really good shit, dude. I wanna thank you for coming on today. Do you
Thank
have
you.
do you have anything you want to promote? Obviously,
Sure.
Letisha.
Well, Letisha, the Shuli Network in general, the Shuli Network, I do my stream show, the Uncle Rico show, where we break Stuttering John's balls. Where it's almost like Howard Stern meets Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Okay.
We have a great time. We're getting sued by Stuttering John now, which is great. He's got a lawsuit against us for breaking his chops. So we're dealing with that. Um, uh, what else do I have? Just give me 1 second. Let me
Can
put
you
up
spell
the.
Shuli?
Say it again.
Can you spell
Shuli,
Shuli?
SHAS. Well, all you anti-Semites out there, it's SHULI. Shuli. Shuli it used to be on the Howard Stern show. Now he has his own show, stream channel, and but also there's a show going on with Pat Downey in New Jersey. That's going to be. I feel like I should have had these plugs already. I'm so sorry, man.
It's
But
okay,
yeah,
man.
you can go. You know what? Go to my Twitter and Instagram at the Zen Comic, TheZenComic, and look for all my dates that are coming up. I got a couple of dates coming up. Rev House Brewery, Rev House Comedy at the brewery in Saratoga Springs, October 11th. A lot of stuff is happening. The summer was shitty, but now everybody's kind of working more in the
Yeah,
fall season. So
love the
yeah,
fall.
I had a great time, man. Thanks for having me. And on your show, we're doing your show on the 27th, right?
Yeah, this Saturday.
Next
Yeah,
Saturday is at the Krog,
the Kro- the Krog, the 27th.
at Rhinebeck. I'm going to single-handedly take your business down
Please do. I could use a break.
by I'm going to insult every rich white Rhinebeck patron that comes into that place.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you more about that after, but but
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
Yeah, now you're gonna hit me with, hey, listen, can you do clean? Can you do a 45-minute clean set? Thanks.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. We
Yeah,
got people in the
sorry.
crowd. We it's
Can't say the F word.
yeah, all church people here actually.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
it's there's a daycare actually in the bar.
I remember doing a show. I got booked for a local show next to my where I used to live when I was younger. It was a cancer benefit called Caitlin's Fight. And I remember getting up there and I was hosting and I'm competing with people eating dinner. Like everyone's
Mhm.
just shoveling food in their mouth. They're there for the meal. They didn't even know there was a comedy show that's going to happen. They just kind of went in for the meal. So I'm working my ass off. I'm trying to get laughs, barely making them notice me. The headliner comes on, and this is what makes somebody a headliner. They get up there, and the charity's called Caitlin's Fight. And he gets up there and he goes, "All right, first thing out of the way, which one's Caitlin?" And to me, it made me laugh so hard because it was so fucked up. This poor girl died of cancer. This kid died of cancer. Caitlin. He goes, "All right, which one's Caitlin?" And then it just made me laugh. Like you're
Like it's
setting
a
such a
birthday party.
tone. What a tone to set right before you're going to try to make people laugh for 45 minutes.
Got their attention though.
Definitely they stopped eating for
Yeah.
sure.
Love
But
that.
yeah,
Uh,
that's it. Anything you want to plug, David?
no, just follow me on Instagram at David Stickle Comedy. Follow me on YouTube where this podcast will be, and follow the podcast at likable.com or at likable pod on Instagram. That
Sounds
wonderful
good.
stuff. Yeah, thank you, Zen. Appreciate you.
It's such a pleasure, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you got jokes, yeah, you're insightful, but are you likable? You got jokes, you're the host, stand up. Are you likable?